What up, though? This B-Boy Reg.
I'm DJ Butter, y'all.
And
it's
this Funky
Fresh in the Flesh
podcast.
Actually, TV show now.
What's going on?
What up, though, Reg?
Oh, everything. Yeah. Just wanted to say, pay our respects to Amp Fiddler.
Yes, indeed. Rest in peace, Amp Fiddler.
Yep.
Yes,
Legend.
indeed.
I was just seeing. I was at Bobby Green's spot earlier, and he was talking about him and how his brother helped him play for Enchantment and that type of stuff. So, man.
Yeah, I went down there to Amp Studio in the 90s with Dez, and I didn't know how great he was. You know?
Right.
He, lived across the street from Persian almost. So,
right.
Yeah, shout out to Amp Fiddler. Rest in peace, Amp Fiddler. Yeah.
Yeah, man. What you call it? Who else? Somebody? Carl Weathers passed.
Yeah, Apollo Creed.
Yeah.
That was everybody's dad.
Yeah. What he played? What was that movie? Was it like Jumpin' Jack Flash or something he played in?
Action Jackson.
Action Jackson. Yeah.
Rest in peace.
Yeah.
I seen Sylvester Stallone giving it up, and he was choking up. That was a lot of respect for him.
Yeah.
He was saying how he couldn't do Rocky without him and all that. It was pretty dope, to see that.
Yeah. You ever hear the speaking of Rocky, you ever hear the story behind how he created Rocky?
Mm-mm.
Man, you gotta listen. Actually, you gotta listen to Tony Robbins tell it. But like he wanted to so he had the script for Rocky, but one of the stipulations was that he played a lead character. And they wanted, like the movie theaters wanted the movie, but they was like, nah, because the way he talked and all that, it didn't look right for Hollywood. And he was saying how he was broke and all of that. He sold his dog because he was that, you know what I'm saying, just to make it by. But he was like, man, he made that movie and he went back to that corner and found a person who brought his dog from him. But you got to hear like the whole story because like the movie itself was like a rags to riches type thing. But how he made the movie should be a movie in itself. Wow. But yeah, man, just a lot of history behind the scenes.
Yeah.
What else we got going on? So I was watching a documentary. So not a documentary, it was a video. So you remember Nelly's house?
Yeah.
The one they did tip drill at?
Yeah,
that was actually his house.
Yeah, it's in bankrupt or something like that. Or...
No, it's abandoned. It's been vacant for like, I think for like 20 years or something like that.
It was that long.
Yeah. So they was...
The credit card on the booth.
Right.
The curse on the credit.
Yep. So it's like boarded up. It's like a bando though. You know what I'm saying? Right. And it's like, so they say after... You know, his sister that passed, he had gave that house to his sister. And after she passed, I guess they just never did nothing with it. Then I think like they said a church or somebody brought it or something. It was like $2 million at the time. I think they brought it for like $600,000 or something. But it's been vacant like 19, 20 years.
That's crazy.
It's just abandoned. That's crazy, man.
Yeah, I seen a lot of Kanye West property. A lot of his stuff is abandoned too.
Yeah,
he got like a warehouse or something. I seen.
Yep.
That's a real expensive one.
I think some people they just have like you have so much money coming in, you have these properties. You're like, oh, this is a good idea to buy it, and then maybe they CPA find a way where they can write it off and that type of thing. But it's like you thinking of these huge estates, and then where his was, it was like off the beaten path. So it was like I don't think it's some homes because of the area it's gonna sell.
Right.
But some people like I think Hammer did that. He built his house way out somewhere, and it was like there's no real market for that sometimes.
So at the Pumps and the Bumps mansion?
Yeah. Yeah. It's a common thing. Don't shoot a video at your crib with hoes shaking their ass because it's going to end up being vacant or bankrupt, right?
Drilled. Wow.
That's funny. But yeah, they said either a church brought it, but somebody was saying like some type of cult had brought the house or something. And I was like, man, but it's just been vacant, man. Just sitting there, a swimming pool frozen over and everything.
I see the kids it's a YouTube channel. The white kids hop the fence and
Oh
they
yeah,
they
yeah,
go into those big houses and stuff. I said, wow.
yeah. Them old warehouses
Yeah,
and
yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
Yeah, it'd be like they have, I think they call it like vacant porn or abandonment porn,
Mm,
something like that, where they go into all the vacant properties.
yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy,
I seen
man.
them with the Kurt Cobain house and Baby O house. I said, wow.
Yeah,
Mm.
yep. Tip drill, that was classic. So, speaking of tip drill, right? So I was arguing with somebody. I said the late '90s, early 2000s probably had the best video women
Mm.
in the videos.
They
I
had the
know,
bigger budgets or something back then. It seemed like they don't
yeah, they
want to
had
put.
bigger budget and more petite women.
Yeah, but
Cause it was like,
it seemed like these guys just grab a camera and don't even put no thought behind it no more. You know.
yeah, but
Mm.
like I was thinking about. So the argument was we was going from like the Uncle Luke girls, right? So
Mm.
like the Luke dancers and the Daisy Dukes and the biker shorts. But then it was that moment where like you had a video and it was full of like Anne Marie's and stuff, just walking around
Right.
with the long legs all
Right.
shined up and
Right.
stuff, petite, slim.
Right.
They had little thumpers on the back, but they
Right.
wasn't BBLs.
What who brought that in style? Was it Buffy the Body? Wasn't she the first one to kinda
Probably so,
yeah,
yeah.
kinda
Her probably
badunked it
Pinky
out.
or something like that.
Yeah, she was the
With
kind
the
of first, yeah.
yeah, with just the extra large
Right.
assets.
Right.
Yeah.
Shout out to Kay
The-
Slade for bringing Buffy the Body to the world. Rest in
The
peace.
Sarah Bartmans of the world.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, man, it was. I want to know. So let me ask you this: do you think when I know they eventually go out of style? When do you think BBLs will go out of style? You think we got another year or two?
I don't know, there'd probably be some they probably grab some horse butt cheeks or something in a minute. They sell it. They gonna there's something going because it's always some insecurities in the world, man.
Yeah.
So you know they gonna do something crazy and just make it. I seen, man, I was out of town, man. I seen this old lady with a BBL. Me and my wife just was staring at her like hell no. Like it was just like it was crazy, man.
What was she like 67?
Man, almost 70.
Damn.
And her shit was like,
You sure it was a BBL, not the old grandma butt?
now she
You know,
like
they
she
walk
put
around with they moo-moos and stuff
nah,
on?
she put some money in it because her man
He said, put
look
some money in it.
he had a pinky ring and everything. I'm like, they put some money on that butt, that old ass booty, man. Yeah, it was wild.
Put some money on that old ass booty. That's funny. So I look at, remember we used to, cause I'm guilty of it too. Remember we used to have them big fat ass tires on our cars, not like 22s, but they was wide and they
Yeah.
stick out. Like Redman said, they parachuting out the Lex coupe.
Yeah.
So they was wide. And it was like, damn, you think back like how ridiculous that was. Cause some cars you had to get like spacers and stuff and get your suspension
Right.
adjusted just to put rims on it.
Right.
And it didn't hold no value. But at least we could change them rims out. That BBL gone.
Man. I was
Stick with
riding
your
through HP in a luxury car, man, and just the potholes was just like killing the car. And I'm like, how do you ride,
Right.
good rims and good,
Right.
we got to get better, HP. It's
Well,
like,
Detroit in general. Don't
yeah.
blame it on HP.
Yeah.
I think what it's gonna take for the BBLs to go out of style, I think like a rapper or somebody famous or pop culture just gonna make it seem whack.
Well, yeah, it got to be some sexy skinniness on TV.
Yeah.
Olive oil back in style or something got to
Yeah.
come back.
But it gotta come from our culture
Yeah.
to make it cool.
Yeah.
Like come out saying I'm all natural.
Right.
Like what's her name? Corey Ray?
Oh,
Benzino
yeah,
daughter?
yeah.
She
Yeah.
gotta come out.
Yeah.
Cause she ain't put no money on her ass.
No.
yet.
And she, when you confident and make it look like
Yeah.
you got a big booty, when you confident on your
You said confident make you look like he had
yeah,
she arched her back a little bit.
Dillinger bullet titties.
Right.
Hey, when you confident about it, man, make it look bigger. That's what it's all about, though.
Yeah, yeah.
For real.
Yeah, it just after a while it just start looking stupid.
Right.
You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Right.
All right. So what about so this catching on now too because my hairline receding and I'm like, man, somebody was like, "Oh, you can go get the implants cuz I'm still kind of curious what did Jada do cuz he was bald.
Jada Kiss?
Yeah, he came back. Not Jada Pickett, man. Don't her alopecia. I don't want to talk about Jada being bald. The other Jada, right? So he came back. All of a sudden, it was just like he had a full head of hair, and it was like hairline and everything. Right. So I'm like, "What's going on?" Somebody was like, "Man, you can get the hair implants where they take the hair from the back and put it in the front."
Wow.
Right. And then I'm like, nah, it was like, yeah, that's about 10 grand. But if you go over to like Turkey or something, it's only like 5,000. But I'm like, that's still 10 grand because you got to go over to Turkey.
Right.
What's the difference? Yeah. At least here I can sue somebody.
Right.
But but my friend, he's a barber, he started doing the hair units. And they be out cold. They be getting dreads. They be having the whole like, they be having a Tyler Perry Tubi special because they be like
ATL.
Yeah, nah, here. Yeah, he be like $600 a pop. Last you a couple months. You be he's looking.
How long that shit lasts?
Like 2-3 months, depending on. They got a low budget one.
Your pillowcase be fucked up.
Nah, he cut you down low. Give you the George Jefferson right here. Well, at least like if I want, he would cut out the George Jefferson, and then he get the prepping and get all the glue and all of that, and they lay it on. Follow him on Instagram. It's too easy. Put it on there, and then he shaped that boy up. I could have dreads. I could have a high top. I can have a Kwame.
That's wild. Man.
And be straight.
You know who got the realest one is Deion Sanders. When he was on there, the Jerry curl messed his hair up for years, but he got his hairline.
Right.
I don't know. I'm gonna find out exactly who that dude was that did. Right. Man, he showed his hairline. He started crying. It was super professional.
Oh, he had the units or the transplant.
They had some transplant.
Yep.
Some tattoos or something he had got made up in there or something.
Yeah, they say put like they do something in your follicles and they be in there. And I imagine your head would be sore for a minute. But at least you ain't riding back on Spirit sitting on your knees like the BBL chicks.
Right.
Yeah, that's crazy. You just can't go swimming for a minute.
Yeah, that's crazy, man. I don't know about that.
All right, so speaking of big asses, is this the world of asses between Nicki and Megan? Who you got?
Well, Megan's still new. Nicki is gonna be Nicki. I just don't like them crossing the boundaries past that. Past hip hop. Yeah, I ain't gonna speak on that, but
because Nicki was like lying on your dead mama.
Yeah,
I was like,
and cringing. People just It's like it'd be too much with that stuff, man.
That's worse than Morris Day, man.
Morris
Day when he walked up to Prince and was like, "How's the family?"
Oh yeah,
that's like the coldest.
Yeah,
that's the coldest line in the movie ever.
Yeah,
I don't think enough people realize that. Like
you took it back.
I think people were just watching a movie,
right,
and was just like, "Oh, he laughed." No, that was a cold line.
Yeah, I remember.
Like, how's the family?
Yeah, I think that because her fans started appearing at her mother's grave site and stuff. That stuff is, that's beyond where I'd be in somebody's bushes after all that, man. It's crazy, man.
Yeah, but I was. Yeah, you gotta keep some stuff on wax, but some stuff be too hard. I didn't get this energy from Nicki when Remy Ma went at her. Yeah, you see what I'm saying? Like some people.
But they said it's a videotape of the actual incident coming out with Tory's innocence and stuff like that.
Oh, that'd be cool. You don't want to see nobody in jail, especially especially if it's another truth out there
Mm-hmm.
that make the current truth the lie.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, she called her, what she called her, big broke foot,
Yeah,
barefoot,
yeah.
big foot, broke foot, something.
It's something on Tubi about the rapper who got shot in the foot or something.
Yeah,
It's a movie. It's a movie.
Tubi make movies out of everything, dog.
They have some. What you gonna do with your tax money? Tubi movies. They be fooling. Hey, we gotta do something super ratchet like that.
Hey, the coldest movies though, my wife put me up on it. It's the Nollywood movies from over in Africa and Nigeria.
About that,
man, if you want to see a title first that's crazy, that kind of don't make sense, but then the movie has nothing to do with the title until like the last 15 minutes.
That's their exploitation stuff.
And the movies be 3 hours long on YouTube. Dog, you gotta look at a Nollywood movie.
That's crazy.
It'd be like wife falls in love with the gardener boy. They don't say like gardener or pool boy. They say like gardener boy. They add like extra words and stuff. And then you go through the whole movie. And
it's not that.
You don't even see the gardener, dog. It did like the last 15 minutes after she did something with 4 other people.
Wow.
And then the gardener boy show up.
Wow.
Man, it'd be crazy. I don't know how she watch it. But Nollywood, they got their own industry over there.
My
man.
wife call those get high movies. Yeah, I sit there laughing.
you gonna be sober and laugh and think you high, cause it's so obnoxious, dog. You like how? No, they couldn't have thought, man. No.
Nollywood.
Yep, Nollywood.
I gotta check that out.
Yep. So it's a big industry because you look at when you look at how many views and stuff they had, they be eating. They got some stars over there though in Nollywood. It's like 4 or 5 actors that be in like some of the better movies, and some of them are on Netflix. Now those are a little bit more polished and stuff. But like if you want to see like when they really out there like in the little villages and stuff, go on YouTube and watch those movies.
Okay.
Yeah, that's funny.
I heard Run DMC's new movie on Peacock documentary is out.
Yeah, Kings from Queens.
Yeah, I gotta check that out. I heard Nat Morris is in there.
For real?
I'm hearing Nat Morris is in there.
Oh, that'd be dope.
Yeah, Detroit in there.
Yeah,
rapping. That's dope. I seen we always got our piece in something like the Bismarcky documentary that he was in there. They were talking about how he broke Just a Friend in Detroit first. And
wow.
They ended it with him wearing a Maurice Malone shirt. So it's dope to see see those type of legends with Detroit and an effect in there.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's dope. Yeah, man. Is it anything about Run DMC you think you don't know? Like I didn't see.
I used to try to know much as I can back then. Like I didn't know it was original Christmas in Hollis. It was somebody. It was a song they sampled.
For real?
I found that out the other day. I heard the original.
Right.
But that was new to me, and just knowing that Jam Master Jake, a godson, killed him and stuff that's stuff I'm getting to learn about, as well. But other than that, a lot of that Crush Groove stuff I think is real too. I'm hearing.
Yeah.
How they was trying to ask their dad for money and all that stuff.
Yeah, and don't borrow no money from JD.
Yeah.
This gonna happen every day until JD get his money.
Well, how much he borrowed back then?
I think it was only like 10,000 or something.
Wow.
And him and Rick Rubin had tried to go to the bank.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I know Jay had like some connections here in Detroit because his son stayed here for a minute.
Yeah.
But yeah, I thought I knew everything. I have to watch the documentary and see. Because like growing up, you would just see them like in Right On, Word Up. So you just read everything. And every time they came out with an album, it was some more information. But I don't know.
I used to hear that they got they was going hard with the Adidas when they came to Hard Plaza and they seen
Oh yeah, seeing
You
all the
know,
young boys.
yeah, all our era, they started going more harder with the Adidas after
I can believe that.
coming to our culture. You know.
Yeah. I know there was a issue between them and LL regarding the Rock the Bells and Peter Piper
Mm.
because it was something where LL had a record or something like that, and then Peter Piper came out. It was something with the samples.
I think
They
there
was
was a
like
remix of Rock the Bells.
yeah, it was the original Rock the Bells had the like the Congos or something on
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
But then they had then he did the next one that ended up on the album. But it was something they had some tension or something going on over the records because they were similar or something like that, or the same sample. But and we back and we did L's version, and then they came back with that one. I looked the story up, but yeah, that's the only thing I thought I didn't know. But you just never know what
Yeah,
what come
I know
out.
they were Run DMC was about to open for Tupac the day he got killed. That's what
Yeah, I heard about
DMC
that.
was saying.
Yep.
Suge Knight paid him $500,000 to come to Club 662 and they didn't make it.
Damn,
Run DMC.
that's crazy. And Run used to DJ. I knew that.
Yeah.
Yep.
Speaking
that's
of
crazy.
attention on records, man, what you think about them Benzino bars?
Benzino, no net. No, I mean it's an effort. You know what I'm saying? Like you just got to think about it. Like his his uh, his reason is different than maybe like a Machine Gun Kelly, right? But I mean, Machine Gun Kelly probably made the best effort out of everybody because it was a more shock factor, right? But it's like, I mean, to go at somebody that lyrical and that talented, first of all, it takes courage. But I think his issue is, of course, more personal. But then, yeah, I mean, it's just him rapping. You know what I'm saying? There ain't nothing special about it, nothing like
Right.
that. He did say something years ago when they first started having their issues. I think it was somewhat true because we hear it coming out of probably the younger generation and more like a lot of the street rappers. He said something to the extent he was like, they kept asking why was he pressing M so hard, and he was like, it's like a machine behind him and this type of thing. But he made a comment that it's gonna be hard for a lot of black dudes to make it out of Detroit because M's presence. I can't remember the exact words, but what I got from it was because M is here and he's white, and it was gonna be like all the labels and the machines was gonna be looking for people, but they had to kind of go through or be affiliated with M. And M had his crew around him, and you know what I'm saying? And it was like if you wasn't connected, labels probably wasn't looking for a lot of people because we had a ton load of talent here at the time. And it was just like, so I kind of understood where he was coming from because you could see that happening. Like Royce even said, like, I took my album to the label and then it was like crickets, and then he said, they found out I was messing with Dre and M, and same album came back and they signed me. You know what I'm saying? So it was like, so imagine somebody that wasn't even getting the access to the label, and it was like, oh, how are you affiliated with Eminem? Do you know Eminem? Can you get M on the record? Whereas in other cities, they probably didn't have that problem. You know what I'm saying? They probably did to some extent, but it's like they probably had 10 Eminems where they was from.
Yeah, our black success was Motown.
Yeah. But like if you compare like, so let's say if you were in New York or in the South or even out West, you probably had people saying, are you affiliated with Dre, Cube, or what? Are you in this family tree?
Right.
But at that time, M was so big, and it was like, I guarantee a lot of people was trying to sign artists here, but they wanted to know what their connection to M was. Because, I mean, we heard it with some of the people we interviewed,
Right.
Like, oh, you got M on the song? Well, sign here,
Yeah.
So I understood it from that perspective, but I just didn't understand them going that in the direction he went with it and the
I think
attack.
too he may been more keen to M's past life with the previous rappers he was working with
Yeah,
the racist tapes and all that
yeah,
stuff. I think he had more insight on and more really more fire, you know, for attacking when he got that more than we even you know
right.
know it exists. You
But
know,
then too, you gotta understand he's an outsider looking in,
yeah,
and he didn't have that experience of being around him at the hip hop shop or even knowing
right,
the people that was supporting it
right,
and sharpening their sword with him,
right,
like a Royce or a Proof or somebody like that. So
right,
like his perception of what it was is that wasn't it.
right.
So he's attacking somebody or a machine that it wasn't even called for that. And
I
it
mean,
kind of
they
ruined the
Boston,
whole magazine.
yeah, it
You know what
did.
I'm saying? The source was like,
Well, Boston got Marky Mark and who else? I mean, Marty so it was
yeah,
that's where a lot of his fire come from,
right.
right? New Edition, you know what
Yeah.
I'm saying?
Yeah. So
There's nothing really bigger than New Edition
right.
in Boston. What's
Right.
the guy Millie's or something? He's dope.
Ain't Ed OG from Boston?
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
you can't forget Ed OG
Yeah,
and the
it
Bulldogs.
wasn't too much. So
Yeah.
you know, we gotta protect our own no matter what. You know.
One thing I do like, so I understand both sides. I understand because even to this day, going back to what I said earlier, they even ask all the young rappers, you see them on the Breakfast Club. So, do you know Eminem or what's your affiliation? Have you met Marshall? Like, dude, some of them dudes was 8 when M was like at his peak. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? You asking them about M, they didn't know Denying. They wasn't around Proof or none of them dudes. So like,
Our
yeah,
culture just moved different though. It's like you will see, you know, just look at how Mesa signed Fabio Foreign.
right,
You know, it's just we move a little different. I mean, they you know, just look at what K Slate did with 200 MCs and
right,
stuff. You know, he put guys from the 70s to the guys from now.
right.
You
Well,
know,
let me ask you this though, on looking at both sides of this, because I always seen it like, all right, Detroit or any city, right? Because you look at different. We talked about like the NWA family tree, right, and what that led to. So, what was M expected to do? Because you got to think, all right, he got D12, he got Obi, and you can kind of say Royce. Royce wasn't directly under him or on the label,
mhm.
but he was part of that M family group or whatever, right? Now, if he put all of them on, then they go put on 5 of their boys or whatever. What else is it for him to do? I understand the argument,
I think a lot of
but it's like,
but at the time, I think a lot of publishing and distributing and marketing, a lot of that was new for us. I think the internet
right,
kind of saved the young guys. I think him having a physical radio show and things like that. I think you know you counted up how many Detroit DJs on that
right,
show. You know
right.
what I'm saying? It's
Yeah, I
like
get it.
so it's like how can anything be branded? And
Right,
here he got a physical radio show, and these kids ain't. They can send an email. They don't have to do all the sweat equity things
right,
like that. So we just gotta some cats kind of stuck in the old ways,
right,
you know. And I think 20 years of that kind of let the young kids see this stuff. That's
right.
why you have 42 Doug and all these guys saying we want to make a change. And
Yeah,
you know, it's people got shitlists or cool clubs or you know, it's let's put all these gangsters in one room who really they more gangster than
right.
more gunny
Yeah,
than our generation. You know what I'm
right.
saying? So, but
But
the
you just,
sacrifice that is, you know, out of 20 something 30 years of being rich, you know,
But see, you
Mm.
kind of just proved the point I was making. So like you look at the Vezos, the Sada Babies, and all them, or even like a Big Sean that went out, signed with Kanye and all of
Mhm.
that. They didn't rely on one person. You know what I'm saying? Now they got their own thing going.
Right.
So like when we look at other cities,
But
like
they really work with each other.
yeah,
If you really look at, not to cut you off, B-Boy McCoy, but
that's
just
so old school.
look at I swear, Sada Baby, Babyface Ray, GT, Payroll, Peasy, T Grizzly, they all got songs together.
Right.
It's whatever that little economy they have to make a big economy.
Right.
It exceeded, the unity exceeded, like.
And that's what it is though.
Mm-hmm.
But they didn't depend on just one person.
No,
It was
not at
like,
all.
so the point I'm making is like I think it was a whole generation of people that was
Empowering each other.
yeah. And then we look back at that moment, it was like, oh, I'm somehow affiliated with him, or I'm the third generation next to the man, right? When we looked at other like the West Coast or down south, they had those affiliations, but it wasn't all based on one person.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? You can probably say in the West Coast a lot went through Dre, but still you had Cube, you had Snoop, you had other entities, and it was like it's to the point where you have like nobody's saying, "Oh, Redman, you got on." Redman put on a lot of MCs on his albums and all of that, right? But it's not a lot of people going around saying, "Oh, you from Jersey? What's your affiliation with
Mm-hmm.
Redman? What's your affiliation with Tretch?" It's almost like we the only people when we come up. You don't see Southern artists going to Breakfast Club and they be like, "So, do you know Andre 3000?" But when we come up there, it's like, "Oh, so do you know Eminem?" Like, no, I was 10. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
When he popped off. So it's like, I get it from both sides, but that's why I really like the generation we in now, because when they talk, and even now, I like it even more now what some of these dudes is doing. Like, hey, you coming after M. Yeah, we don't have no ties with him or none of that, but he's still Detroit.
Of course, right.
Like, he not my man or none of that, but he's still Detroit.
Right.
You're not going to get me to talk bad
Mm-hmm.
about him or join your side or nothing like that.
Mm-hmm.
So I think the new generation of MCs and artists that we got, they just get the business more.
Yeah, I think we battle rap too much while they were making songs.
Exactly. Yep.
It was a lot more freestyle while they pay style. It was just
they came out the gate to make money and be in the business and hustle.
I think too, and a lot of the battle rapping formed shit lists.
Yeah.
To where the guys didn't really want to do business, and we missed a lot of. We let the youngsters see this for 20 years, and they would say, "Okay, we beefing or we this or that, but we gonna try to record.
Right.
We gonna try to take a picture with each other. Or,
yeah.
It's East versus West, but we're gonna try to figure this out. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah. So I would just my message to any media: if you interview an artist from Detroit, ask them like, "Do you know Peasy? Do you know Payroll?" You know what I'm saying? Like every question don't have to be, again, some of these guys 20 years old, you know what I'm saying? And they coming out, they probably listened and heard him, but that just shouldn't be everybody's question. It's like coming from New York, everybody asking you about Jay-Z.
I would want them to ask Peasy, do he know Nat Morris? Do he know Brian Piccolo and these guys?
Ask him, do he know who DMW is? You know what I'm saying? Because most of them gonna say they knew about Cheddar Boys, Rock Bottom, and all that.
Right.
And I love that, right?
Yeah.
And then you ask them, well, what's the lineage back to DMW? Or, you know what I'm saying?
J to the D.
Or Jack Frost or J to the D or something. Because that's that lineage, style of street rap. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So it's like, I don't know, man. That's just where I'm at with it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Got to keep educating. We not behind, because our Detroit is like our own island, but we got to protect it, because you know, they look at us just like doo-woppers and Motowners, you know.
No, I
Now,
don't think they do.
now we got M. Now
They
we
know
got
better.
the young guys.
Yeah.
Now it's like
Yeah.
y'all got M, y'all got Kid Rock, but not the young guys. And you got these guys that they got the Detroit flow now on their songs.
Right. Yeah.
You know, they were looking for something to steal from our culture. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Yeah.
All right, y'all. That's a wrap. Funky
Yeah.
Fresh in the Flesh.
Rest in peace to Amp Filler once again.
Yep.
And we out of here.
And we out.
Peace.